They work. Hi everyone. Hey Virgo. Okay, so happy mid-May. Happy Uranus in Taurus. Remember, it's in your 9th house, Sagittarius' house. Oh, anyone new to Opal Oracle, welcome. And anyone returning, hi. Sorry, I just blasted a bunch of information like we had already had this conversation. You know how that happens? Because you do a lot of thinking in your own head, right? And then when you go to say something, it's like you think that everyone should already, like, in a way, be on your level, right? But the thing is you haven't really told anybody all the details yet, so they don't really know because reality is subjective. I love you, Virgo. Fucking funny, you know that? You crack me up every time. Now, let's see what you got. Good. Good. That's all right. Wow. Okay. There's a new moon in Taurus on the 15th, for those of you who are unaware. New moons are a great time for, well, newness. What do you want in your life that's new? Particularly, I mean, it all depends where it is in your chart, but because it's a new moon in Taurus, it really is about your inner resources, your external resources, your material world, the body, right? Another opportunity to care for yourself, to gain more self-value, okay? Also, because they're the first decan and you're the second, and you're more serious, and well, all the earth signs are serious, but something about that too, like more of a childlike approach to the situation could really help this energy as well. Not that you really have conflictual energy. I see that, let's see here. Well, I see that whatever it is that you've been going through, I heard in the last 3 years specifically, you're doing a good job in healing it, okay? You're willing to face it now, okay? And in a way, you're actually putting forth the action of that lesson, like you've been practicing in a way. And because of that, you mostly, well, this probably goes back to the conversations you have in your head. You know, that alone time that you spend. It's like you really do have it in order, okay? You subconsciously have been looking at how you limit yourself. Particularly well, I heard how fun you can be. How much fun you can have. I mean, you can be serious, right? You can handle all your business, you can have your things in order, the bills are paid, you know, but you can still go have a good time. You know, maybe you can keep your kind of magicalness, you know, either, there's something about that too, like not being so serious. I'm not saying you shouldn't be serious with magic, okay, or with energy. It's a serious topic. But when you're already a naturally serious element, you have to remember to have fun. Because, again, when your inner child is like the hermit or something, I didn't do an inner child, you have a interesting, elder, like the tree. Also elder, like the child, the eldest child. Also your elders, right? Elder. Has to do with your ancestors, right? Well, I see that they're around you, the ones that want to help you. So be aware of them. Yeah, I actually see this You have to remember to express that you have to remember to ask yourself to be released from energy of your ancestors that block you. Okay? Sometimes we don't even think about that because we're not taught that. Not in this culture, not in this day and age. But it's important to release yourself, because I do see, in a way, whatever energy that it is that you're holding, whether your mother gave it to you through birth, or like, again, your ancestors gave it to you, or maybe you were the eldest child and so there was a lot of responsibility, but you're already a really serious person, whatever. You know, or even if you weren't the eldest, there's something about the responsibility when you were a kid, in some way or another. Maybe the responsibility of what it is that you understood at a really young age that you couldn't express to anyone, so you kept it all inside. But because of that, in a way, it affects your relationships. Okay? It blocks you a little bit from relationships, but I see that you're also learning to, because with this card lately, I've been hearing just like soul contract. Okay? So there's something about, again, that doesn't have to be your lover, your ex-wife, your ex-husband, your kids. It's like, it can be anything, okay? And it's all there so that we learn how to become more courageous, more able to know what ground it is that we're standing upon and what it is that we are willing to fight for, because fighting about something, whether that's verbally, physically, whatever, it's all, you know, even getting upset about it is physically, you know what I mean? It affects your body. And again, this new moon in Taurus, I guess there's something important for you about that, is like really centering and balancing the energy within you so that you no longer exert. And maybe that's where this comes in, like subconsciously you know that you need to be really aware of. That's where your seriousness comes in with your magic. Like, I need to be really serious. And adult-like, yes. But childlike fun also is a way to excel that, because the mouth speaks what the heart knows. The body speaks what the heart knows. Oh, I put it in the reverse. Good. It's right next to this one. Let's turn that around, eh? Just let them slide on out. They're in your way anyway, where it is that you're going. And I do see you going somewhere. Okay? And I see you in a way not going where it is that you used to go. Good. Maybe that's where the child comes in too, like being again courageous in this situation, being fearless, you know. I mean, obviously, again, handling responsibilities, having things in order, being using the adult side of you, but also just really, like, this is usually to me as Leo. I always see this as my homegirl Allie. Like, it's just, I need to call her. You gotta have fun too, okay? You must have fun, because if you don't have fun, you're just lying to yourself. Now, of course, in a very simple way, you could be dealing, subconsciously, you know that you're dealing with a person that is, like, the truth of the matter came out, and it upset you at first, okay? It put you kind of in a funk, like, internally. You didn't really tell anybody about it, like you usually don't, but it put you in a funk, okay? It has a lot to do with the heart, but you no longer can lie to yourself about, like, you're no longer willing to put up with whatever the lie is, whatever the dishonesty is. You're cutting it out. It's really good, okay? It's like you have an ability to end the cycle, or you also have the option to go the other way and kind of like ignore it. Like you could just keep going and be like, yeah, consciously, like I got it under control, and then when you get to this, you just trample over it and then keep going. But the thing is this would still stay here, right? It's like you got to feel like you can succeed, that you have people that are supporting you in this process, right? And where it is that you're going and the healing that you've been doing, etc. And obviously, please give this to yourself. But when you oh, good. And then when you come across it, you turn it around and you have patience, right? Use that hermit ability, and just maybe you need to stay with this a little bit. Maybe you get to this town, right? That's usually what happens. This person gets to town, and then they hang out with this for a little while until it finally turns around, and then the swords come out, and then you can move along. Okay, because that's really what healing is. We can't just trample over it and like try to expedite the process. It's like, have you ever tried to grow like a garden or something, or flowers, or I mean, when nature does it, it generally doesn't happen. But when humans try to manipulate things the way that they want it, it's like we want something sometimes to just hurry up and grow. But if it did that, it would end up not being so stable, right? Like it wouldn't have the, I heard virility, but it wouldn't have the structure, I guess, that is needed to, what's that Doobie Brothers song? Growing a little bit a day at a time. I'll put it down below. Now, I see wherever it is that you are going, because I see that this right now is self-mastery, okay, and you're going right towards it, okay? This is healing. This is really stabilizing that healing. Again, putting forth the action in the physical world to the understanding that you've been gaining in your own mind, the own organization of your thoughts, and what it means to, well, to get, how do you work together with other people? Because the thing is I love you, Virgo, and we all have Virgo in our charts, but like you're the hermit at the top of the mountain. You're the shaman, you're the monk, whatever. So it's like sometimes, you know, you don't want to get, that's why sometimes the mental cycle will stay longer with you, but you'll, like I've said this before, but all the other two earth signs will stay with it physically for a really long time, but they'll leave mentally first, right? You, on the other hand, will separate yourself physically, but you stick with it in your head longer, okay? So it's more about understanding your own patterns, okay, that keep you blocked from your own success and where it is that you really want to go, okay, how it is that you really want to feel. And I heard, and heal. This is on the bottom of the deck. This is Uranus, which, remember, is in Sagittarius' house of the higher mind, of new directions, okay? And I see that it's important to keep wishing. I see it's important to keep vulnerable. I see it's important to keep being yourself, and also to keep examining and healing the parts of you that have had issues with not only your communication with everyone, but because you rule, you know, Mercury, what have you, but also the way that you communicate your own vulnerability, okay? I see that because Gemini and you are ruled by the same heavenly body. I don't know if any of you do this, but even if you don't have it strong in your chart, I sense that it might be wise to sort of maybe listen to their readings or do a little research on what Gemini all means, because they come before you, so it's like you're supposed to learn what they already know. But of course there's things that we are figuring out as we go along, right? Right? Like Zumi, when I got her, she wouldn't even play with a toy, a stick, nothing. I bought her like every bone you could think about, made her toys, sewed her like little whatever. I throw sticks and she'd just look at me like, tsk. And then all of a sudden, when I was homeless, which I guess I'll bring it up now, this is the first deck of cards I ever had, okay? And how I ended up finding out that I could read tarot, or that I was connected to it in some way, was because I had something traumatic happened in my life. Okay, totally changed my world completely around, to the extent where I was like, whoa, this is a fucking lot. Okay, but I learned a lot. Okay, and in that I learned a new skill. I learned a new understanding, something that I already knew inside of me, that I was already connected to, but for some reason it was blocked, right? But I kept at it, right? I kept learning. It's fascinating. I just keep doing it, and it really is helping me, well, in my communication, and just like understanding myself, and through this healing process. Obviously for you too, you're here. Now, in relation to this and Azumi, so I had to be homeless for like 3 months. I lived in the back of my friend Allie's truck, and she lived in Connecticut, and I lived in Western Mass at the time, and I would drive, I went and brought Zumi there and left her there, and then I'd go to work, and then I had 2 days off, day and a half off, whatever, and I'd go and I'd see Zumi, and then I'd come on back. Well, and I had to live in a Walmart parking lot. So, long of the short of it is that when Zumi was there, okay, through this, again, traumatic experience and having to be separated from this thing, right? My friend Allie had a dog, Uppers. And Uppers is just like younger than her, and, you know, she had her since she was a pup, so she played with toys because Allie taught her that, right? We only know what we're taught. Well, from Zumi's observation of someone else doing something, they were like, oh, I can do that too, like, and as soon as, when she finally picked up that toy and was like, ah, like, it was just so adorable. It was adorable, and now, you know, she's not compulsive about it like a Labrador, you know, do it till they puke, but it's like, she knows how to have fun because she's a working dog, you know, she's a cattle dog, she wants a job, just like you, like, she wants to be of service. But the thing is like, you can be of service all day, but like, gotta chill out, you know? Because even though all these cards, I'm telling you this, like, part of the reason is that there's no cards here. They're all pretty serious. You're so serious. Let's see how to not be so serious. That is too many. Oh, look at that. How to not be so serious. Well, awaken your inner child. Okay, I also see that you could have a Libra in your life. Also, Libra comes after you. So it's always important also to watch the sign, or do research to the sign in front of you, because they know things that you don't. Okay? And you can learn from them. That's the whole point. Okay? Wow, 3 major arcana in a row. That's a pretty big deal. It also means, and I've been telling everybody this, and that's why I told you this story, is that, you know, at the time, my mind was crazy. I was like, I don't even know what to do. It was such a low point in my life. Okay, I was like, whoa, Nelly. Whoa, Nelly. But because of that, it made me realize a lot about karma. It made me realize a lot about my ancestors. It made me realize a lot about my inner child. It made me realize a lot about God. Okay, help me to understand these things better, and so I don't blame myself or have that expectation in the world to whatever I think it's supposed to be. It's like, well, just know that wherever you are, that is where you're supposed to be. So you can learn. So you can balance that karmic scale, so that you can learn to love and cherish and nurture yourself more and be more on the sunny side. Also, just naturally speaking, trying to get out of the head games that you play with yourself, which Gemini also had, is I see getting sunshine. Okay? Getting some sunshine. Be in the sun. You don't have to do anything. Okay? Have you ever thought about being of service to yourself? Be of service to your inner child. What do they want? Like, and I'm serious. I know it might seem a little hokey. I don't think it seems that hokey to most of you because you're here, so therefore you know magic is real, and things that we can't see or scientifically, whatever, define, doesn't mean that it's not real. That's the reason why science was invented, is because they didn't have an explanation for something, and some fucking over-analytical fucking person. Do you think a Virgo invented science? No, probably not, because you're more of a like you want to give and be of service, so probably not. Yeah, you are a lot. I bet a lot of inventors are Virgos, though. So let's see, so you don't, in case when you come across, so you're on the horse, you have the 6 of Wands, you come across the 3 of Swords. How do we handle that the best? Well, know that you can handle it, okay? But you don't have to rush the process. You cannot rush healing. You cannot. Sometimes healing is just about a little tiny seed, okay? Like, I'll give you an example. So when I was a kid, I used to go to my Aunt Carol and Uncle Choppy's house, okay? My sister and I, so my mom worked a lot, whatever. And I remember specifically being behind the bushes in the dirt, and there was this bee there, and I got scared, and I smashed it with a stick. It was like one of the few things that I've ever killed, besides maybe like a tick or something, because those obviously are really, they're dangerous, right? And they're about to bite me. That's different, okay? Because I don't want it to bite anything else. I'm not justifying, I'm just saying I really don't kill anything, okay? I know that's part of the reason I'm a vegetarian, because even when I tried to skin roadkill to like make a pelt, I had a really hard time with it, so I know that I couldn't technically kill something, okay? I don't want to do that. So the point is I was sitting in the backyard. This probably happened when I was like, I don't know, 5, 6 years old, maybe even 4, I don't know. But I was sitting having a cup of coffee this morning, and there was the carpenter bees that had been buzzing around. Well, there's some down there too, and I realized it was coming around me, and I was scared of it. And then I realized, I was like, I killed that bee that time. Jeez, Zumi. Just relax. Just relax. There's nobody. It's all right. See, sometimes we have those little tiny strings we don't even realize. But it's not like where this was detrimental, but it was still something that I was hanging on to, that little bit of like, like regret or shame or whatever. And then once I realized that, the carpenter bee left, and they haven't bothered me since. Okay, but I had to like face that. I heard face that fear. But you can. Okay? And then actually, when I was walking today and with Zumi up on the mountain, I was just sitting down and observing yes, I climbed a mountain, Virgo, and I was just sitting down observing the scenery, the landscape, and a bee landed on me. It was buzzing around me, and at first I got scared, and then I just realized that my masculine side was like trying to protect me so much, and so I just like let it go, and was like, I went into more into my feminine, and I just eased my energy. Okay, and when I did, it kept buzzing around, and it even landed on me, and then it stuck out its little tongue, like, or its little whatever that is. Oh, there's that yellow butterfly again. Good. You know? But if I would have been afraid, it would have sent out that energy, and then that bee would have thought, well, I need to protect myself. So it's a magnetic situation that it's really important to pay attention to, because after that, it just flew away, you know? And then a spider crawled on me, and I was like, you know, I could take this like, oh, I'm being attacked, or I could take this as, I am an intricate part of Mother Nature, and that I don't, something that's around me is not going to, it's not going to kill me, okay? Whatever it is that's going on, whatever it is that's happened. Sorry for the neighborhood. I've been visualizing, my Virgo friend is reminding me to really visualize what it is that I want for my new house with Zumi. Okay, because we still don't really know where we're gonna go. But there's something important about that, Virgo, like connecting the dots in a way where there's like an aha moment where that's sort of like, here's the past, here's the present, and then you come to the center. Okay, and through that process, you center yourself, like energetically. Because I know you have a little bit of like anxiety and kind of that pessimism, and that pessimism comes from high expectations of others, okay? Like they're not up to your standards or something. But it also just may not be the time. I also see that if anybody's trying to fight with you, it's not, this time is about you, okay? It's about understanding that I heard don't ignore what you already know. And remember to know that you don't know everything. No offense. But adults do that, right? We get stuck. That's when the inner child gets like, I think I was telling Libra this, but like when you like, when you have an opportunity to do something differently, but you're adult, is like, I don't know, back and forth, da-da-da-da-da, you know, trying to be over analytical and thinking about all the things that have happened, because you obviously can relate the two, okay? And what is happening and what will happen with this situation, and how do you deal with it then? It's all like premeditative, like so far into the future. Again, all these conversations that you haven't had with anybody else. And that doesn't make them the reality, okay? But when you are like, afraid to try new things, it's like telling your inner child to get in the corner, you know? Like your inner child's like, come on, Virgo, have fun. And you're like, go sit down. There's no need for that. Now, speaking of inner child, let's read something from Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein, huh? Love this book. Virgo! A hippo sandwich is easy to make. All you do is simply take one slice of bread, one slice of cake, some mayonnaise, an onion ring, one hippopotamus, one piece of string, a dash of pepper, that ought to do it. Now comes the problem, biting into it. Now I heard in a way you might have bit off a little bit more than you can chew. But that's where you want to, this is also, I also heard the term, like, you got lemons, make lemonade. Okay, here we go. This is a good one, too. It's called The Generals. Look at these guys. Friggin' jerks. Okay, so serious. It says, said General Clay to General Gore, oh, must we fight this silly war? To kill and die is such a bore. I quite agree, said General Gore. Said General Gore to General Clay, we could go to the beach today and have some ice cream on the way. A grand idea, said General Clay. Said General Clay to General Gore, we'll build sandcastles on the shore. Said General Gore, we'll splash and play. Let's leave right now, said General Clay. Said General Gore to General Clay, I've always feared the ocean's spray. Oh, and we may drown. It's true we may. It chills my blood, said General Clay. Oh, expressing your fears, good. Said General Clay to General Gore, my bathing suit is slightly tore. We'd better go on with our war. I quite agree, said General Gore. See? All happy and like, I don't want to fight with this shit. Then it's all in there, cut it out. Then General Clay charged General Gore as bullets flew and cannons roared. And now, alas, there is no more of General Clay or General Gore. See, and that's you fighting with yourself, okay? Or having a good time. These are the two choices. You want to go to the beach, have some ice cream along the way? Okay, build some sandcastles, splash and play. Oh, I missed one. Said General Gore to General Clay, but what if the sea is closed today? And what if the sand has been blown away? A dreadful thought, said General Clay. See, it's like all these positive, like, oh, let's do something for the kid, but then the adults like, well, what if this happened? What if that happened? Da-da-da-da-da. It's like worrying about the stuff that doesn't really matter and then end up having a war. And what's that Black Flag song? War in my head. There ain't no need for that. Pish posh. Okay? For those of you who want a relationship also, or are confused about the ones that you're in or whatever, it's all just with whoever. It's just you healing so that you can open up your heart. Okay? And I heard stop being so serious. Because you're hilarious. Go to the beach. Okay? Beach enthusiast. Bye. Oh, did I forget to mention you are safe, you are loved, and you are protected. Okay? Peace.